It was always going to be tough against Subiaco, but for the first three quarters and the first half especially, you couldn't have played too much better with the way you approached the footy and the way you took it up to them.
Yeah, look, we're really pleased, especially at probably half time, and more just with the start. We came out, played with some real intent, and got some scoreboard pressure, which we haven't been able to do for a while. So, I guess from where we were coming from, it was a big step in the right direction.
They were able to run over top of you in the last quarter, which was disappointing, but to be able to still show the heart to play like you did for the first three quarters, especially after what happened last week, you would have been pleased?
Look, certainly weren't pleased with how it ended, but they're a quality team, and they're able to sustain and play at a higher level for longer than most teams. That's why they're going so well. So, look, clearly we couldn't sustain the effort to stay in the game. Couldn't keep the pressure on them, so it's something to work on.
Did you just get tired in the last quarter, or was it their quality that sort of came to the fore, or what do you think happened in the last quarter?
Look, it's a pretty physical brand of footy, and yeah, look, I think that, as I just said before, I think they play a brand of footy and sustain it for longer. And we couldn't go. We hung in for pretty good in the first half, hung in until three-quarter time, but we looked like we were pretty short of didn't have much run left late.
Made quite a few changes. Parry and Colica both came back in and played pretty well through the middle.
Yeah, look, Colica's form's been really strong for about a month, so and played him inside, which is where he's been playing at twos level, and he was okay, and Jared missed a bit of time injured, played one back, but he's one of our leaders, so we're pretty keen to get him in.
Ashton played about as well as you would expect in his milestone game. Unfortunately couldn't win for him, but he did everything he could.
Yeah, look, he's a competitor and keeps working right to the end, so look, 150 is a great effort, and something that I'm sure he'll look back on really proudly when he's finished.
How far ahead of the rest of the competition are Subi at the moment? You've seen them 3 times now. Are they as far ahead as the ladder suggests, or what do you think?
Well, East Perth were pretty good last week, to be honest, but yeah, I think the strength of them obviously is they're very even and they play their role, and they're able to sustain it longer than everyone else, and they seem to find a way to grind over the top. So, reigning premier and on top, so I guess they're the team to beat.
Disappointing end for Craig White too, hurting his shoulder. What do you know about that at the moment? And it's probably going to be his last year of footy. Do you think he's a chance to get back this year to hopefully get a farewell?
Look, we've certainly had no discussions about whether he plays or not, but we're hopeful it's not too serious, so we think he's a chance to play next week.
Lost a couple of important players before the game. Obviously, skipper Ryan Cook and Blaine Wilson. Are they a chance for next week?
No, Blaine won't play again this year, so he's got to have some shoulder surgery. Cookie's a chance. Yeah.
Makes it tough to make the finals from here. If you win the last 3, you never know. But starting next Saturday against Peel, you just need to win again to get back in with some sort of a chance.
Yeah, look, I guess for us it's just a chance to improve. Terrible last week, pretty good for a half, 2.5 quarters this week. But we've got to get back out and back on the horse, train hard, improve. We've still got to work on our ball use a bit, especially in the forward half. So there's areas to work on.
Doesn't get any easier because Peel have been playing good footy. They'll be fresh after a week off, and they're still fighting for a top 2 spot. So they're going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, they probably will. But to be honest, and we've probably said it most of the year, we're probably more focused on what we're doing than the opposition at this minute. Yeah,
Thank you.
No worries.